360-degree cameras have become very popular over the last few years, especially as action cameras, because you can basically hit record, they record in every direction all at once, and then you can choose your frame in post after the fact. For the first time ever, a drone has a 360-degree camera built into it. You can see one of the lenses on top and one on the bottom here. This is the Antigravity A1. I have been playing with this for a few weeks now. It's incredible. It's much better than I expected it to be, but should you go out and buy one, let's find out. Common drones like this one usually come with a controller with a screen built in, or you can plug your phone into it, and you have 2 D-pads, and the drone can go up, down, forward, backwards, or side to side. The camera is attached to a gimbal, which keeps it stationary as the drone pivots from side to side, but we also have the ability to tilt the camera up and down using the remote control as well. The Antigravity A1 is very different. Instead of a standard remote control with D-pads, this is the remote control. And instead of a screen, you have to wear this headset. And when it comes to controlling this drone, it's very different than the DJI. Instead of me trying to explain it to you, let me show you how this works. I've got my goggles here, and I am currently recording the screen inside. And you'll notice that as I move my head, it's changing where I can look, but nothing is moving on the drone itself. Remember, it's recording everywhere all at once, and it's just showing me different parts of that large 360-degree video as I pan my head around. To take off here, I'm going to push this button up twice, and the propellers start, and then I'm going to hold this slider button up, and the drone will start to take off here. And now at this point, I just pull this trigger here, and we're gonna go forward, and I'm just holding the trigger down as I tilt my wrist, and it's changing the direction that we're flying. I just changed my controls to FPV mode, and gives you a lot more control. You can make much steeper turns in FPV mode, as you can see here. Now, most drones can go side to side or backwards, but with this drone and many FPV drones, I physically have to turn around and I can just go straight in another direction. So using my thumb on this little wheel, I can turn the drone around, and then once again, when I press this trigger, the drone will just go forward. Now, what makes this completely different than every other drone on the market is this 360-degree camera and the fact that it's hooked to these goggles here. So I can physically turn around in space and look everywhere here. I can look straight down and see directly what's below the drone. It even creates this little circle where the drone will land if I went straight down. I can look straight up here and look at the sky. And what's interesting about that is it really feels like you're there, and you can use this drone to explore locations, and you might just wanna stop the drone in a really cool spot and just look around. What's a little strange and difficult to get used to is that where you're looking won't change the way that the drone flies, and it also doesn't change anything about the way the drone is recording video. Remember, it's recording everywhere all at once. You're gonna set what the video looks like in post. So I might be going forward right here, but I want to look to my right, and if I hold the trigger, we're not gonna be going where I'm looking. Now we're going to the left. It creates this home point. It shows you exactly where you need to go to land, and it makes flying very easy and very safe. And we are running out of batteries, so let's come home here. So you can see while it's landing, I can look anywhere I want or directly down, and it's gonna show me exactly where it's gonna land, which happens to be right where we took off from. Now, when you look at this drone, you would probably think that these are the 2 cameras. I believe those are proximity sensors. The 2 cameras are on the top and the bottom. Just like a standard 360-degree camera with these huge fisheye lenses, this drone works in the exact same way, and somehow these lenses that are facing up and down are able to record forward and backward and all around. And of course, you could imagine that this bottom lens here could get easily scratched on the ground. So what they've done is they've created these little bitty feet that automatically come out and keep that lens off of the ground when you're taking off and landing. And then as soon as you rise up off the ground, these retract, and now there's nothing in the view of either of these 2 lenses. But what if you land this drone on gravel and there's a little rock and it touches that lens right there and scratches it? Well, they have thought of that as well. First of all, They sent me a landing pad, so you can land directly on this and you won't have to worry about scratching that lens at all. But if somehow you do scratch one of these lenses, they actually sell replacement lens kits, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, as you probably know, there are drone laws all over the world. It makes traveling and using drones professionally very difficult, but this drone is under 250 grams, which means that most countries see this as a toy and you won't get hassled if you bring this into the country. I just went on the greatest snowboard trip of my life to Chamonix, France, and because this drone was so small, I decided to bring it along with me. I was able to put the drone up in the village, and it was so cool to be able to see that entire city from the vantage point of this drone with these goggles on and just look all around. I've never experienced anything like it. Now, because this drone films in 360 degrees, the video files on this are proprietary. You can't just open them in any editing software. You're going to have to use the free software that's available for a computer or for a smartphone. If you're not a professional video editor, you're going to love this because their software is free and it works really well. But for somebody like me who's accustomed to using Adobe Premiere for everything, it feels like one extra step that I have to deal with. Now, what makes this drone so special is that you can edit the footage however you want in post after you're done filming. Even though this thing is basically always flying forward, you don't have to use the footage in front of the drone. You could point the camera straight down in post, or you could film behind the drone. You could zoom in, or you could zoom out, or most importantly, you could add keyframes and movement to your shot, which makes it look like you're this professional cinematic drone pilot that got everything right on location, when in reality, you're basically just programming those moves after the fact. Now, the one downside to all 360-degree cameras is image quality. There's no way that a camera that's recording everything all at once could have the same image quality as a fine-tuned lens that's focused on a subject that has a very precise focal length. But of course, there are tons of other benefits to filming in 360 degrees, so just how much better is the DJI Mini 5 Pro's footage? Let's find out. I took both drones out yesterday and flew the exact same flight path. The first thing I noticed was DJI had significantly better range. I was able to fly further away. But I also noticed just how much sharper the footage looked on the DJI screen versus the Antigravity headset. When I got back to the computer to compare the footage, I gotta say the Antigravity actually did a little bit better than I was expecting it to, especially when you consider just how far we're cropping in to all of the footage that these cameras are recording. But of course, when you compare it directly to the Mini 5 Pro, there's not much of a comparison. DJI here is the clear winner. The other thing that I noticed is that the A1 has such large and wide lenses that it has trouble with lens flares. It also has trouble with the propellers throwing shadows onto each of these lenses. This is something that the DJI can suffer from as well, but it's not nearly as common because the lens on this drone is so small. Now, if you've never flown a drone before, you might be wondering which one of these would be best to start out with, which one might be easier to learn. I'm not sure I have a clear answer here. I feel like both of these drones do an amazing job of taking you through a tutorial when you first turn it on, and they teach you how all of the major settings work. The anti-gravity might be a little easier to control because you're basically just pressing the forward button and then tilting the remote control. However, you have to remember where a bunch of other buttons are on the remote control, and you can't see the remote control because you have this headset on. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. The DJI will definitely take a little bit more time to become proficient in flying it, but I wouldn't say it's hard. And when it comes to editing the actual footage afterwards, there's not much of a comparison because the DJI just outputs a normal MP4 video file, and you can edit that on any platform you want to, including their own proprietary iPhone software if you want to. The Antigravity's footage requires their software, and although their software is pretty straightforward, there's just so many options when it comes to editing 360-degree footage in general that is going to add a massive layer of complexity over a standard drone. So in conclusion, if you're looking for a drone and you like the idea of being able to set your video frame in post, maybe you want to do these wild transitions and everything, you're not going to be able to do anything like that on a standard drone. If you like the idea of using your drone to explore new places and you like the idea of that VR headset and the ability to look around, it really feels like you're in these locations. Again, a standard drone is not going to be able to compete with that. But if you're looking for the best video quality possible and you like the idea of shooting it and getting it right in camera, and maybe you have your own favorite video editing software and you don't like the idea of being forced to use another program in some more complicated pipeline, then a standard drone is probably for you, and I am a huge fan of the Mini 5 Pro. That being said, the footage out of this drone looks far better than I expected it to, and now after playing with this for a few weeks, I've had so much fun with it, I could certainly understand why the average person who doesn't do this professionally would prefer this. I was worried that neither of these would be available with the United States-China drone ban that's going on, but I just checked online. Somehow both of these drones are currently available. If you're in the market for a drone, I would highly suggest buying one very soon, so check them out in the links below.